Okay. Itamexistiko, good day. It is the early afternoon of Saturday, November 16th, 2019, in the lunar cycle Itatstoi when cold arrives. And this is a fairly warm early winter day here at the Alexander Wilderness Park in Lethbridge, Alberta. Yeah, really beautiful day. We have our usual wind going on here, which I'm hoping to deter a little bit in the sound with the incorporation of some moose hair by experiment today. Me and Chelsea are taking a walk. Beautiful Chelsea. Taking a walk around the park. And lots going on here. We can already see just hiking into our kind of position here where we have a view over the river. There's a family of swans. We're going to try to get close. There's some swans down here. I'm not sure if they're trumpeter swans or tundra swans yet, but there's 3 adults and 2 juveniles there. There's a bunch of Canada geese out here, goldeneyes, and some other waterfowl that were just not nearly close enough to even register by binocular. But yeah, doing our Saturday afternoon visit to the park, and we'll see what's up. Just heading down to look at the local Beaver Lodge. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that, probably not. It's all the way on the other side of the river. You're not going to be able to see it either, but there's a bunch of goldeneye ducks. Just took off because we were walking off of the human path. How dare we walk off of that path? There's a goldeneye. Goldeneyes flying by. Their wings kind of whistle when they move. And that is an underwater creature, believe it or not. That's not, it looks like a sky being, but that's an underwater creature. I've had one in my house. They smell like a fish. They eat fish entirely. And just their eyes. Their eyes are the eyes of underwater beings. Oh, look at this. This is a caved in Beaver Lodge, Beaver Shore Lodge. Like, when the young ones, when they're 2 years old and they're forced to leave their parents' lodge, typically what they do is they come and they dig in. They dig into the cut bank like this, and they get kind of a little tunnel under here, and they might start a new lodge there, you know, downstream or upstream from their parents if they find a mate. But sometimes this happens. They dig in and it collapses. They've put it too close to the surface. Happens a lot, actually. So the Beaver Lodge is right over here, and lots of dog bane on the shoreline here. Good to note. Dog bane has this, like, it's typified by a trident kind of shape to the branches, but a lot of these ones are outside of the typical. Oh, a lot of this is wild licorice, but there is some dog bane here as well. Yeah. Wild licorice along the cut banks. Well, it might be mostly wild licorice, or all wild licorice, actually, looking at it. My mistake. Wow. So here's the Beaver Lodge right here. It's quite large. Up against the bank, and they start just like that other one. They start just with a tunnel into the cut bank, and then they start building a lodge onto that. And in a river situation like this, that's all it ever becomes, is a kind of a lodge against the river cut bank. But if they were in a stream or something like that, they could start building dams downstream and build a pool around their cut bank lodge, and eventually kind of dig up the earth and put their lodge in the middle of a little pool. That's the ideal. But most of the beavers here live in these cut bank lodges. This is their food cache. This is all their winter food. We have our Christmas trees and our reeds that are just kind of like ornamental and la-di-da. They got their food that they need. They need or they die. Did the swans leave? Oh no, they're across the river.
Oh, they seen us coming.
Yeah, let me get my little video camera out. I'll see if I can get the swans across the river, although I don't know if it'll be any better than, no, it won't be as good as when we showed up. I got a little film of them when we showed up, the family, and it was very cute. Like, one of the parents, you want to think it's the mama, stood up and kind of flexed her wings a little bit. Let's wake up, let's go, there's some people around. And then little baby stood up and flexed his wings.
That's awesome.
But yeah, now they're kind of swimming along the other shore, which is where most of the water birds are. It's surprising. Like, I know I'm talking pretty loud for wildlife and stuff out here, but even without the talking, you know, when we come onto the scene, they just get the fuck away as quick as they can. For the most part, you know, unless we're here all day, we just like set up camp, then they become,
What?
yeah, then they become used to us. Anyway, we'll see what else is happening out here. It's like last week, I'm just checking this kind of older forested area for the great horned owl who was here up to a few weeks ago, and I think they typically get a owl couple nesting in this forest area, but see if we can come across it. It's very camouflaged, these horned owls. You know, you think they stick right out, but sometimes they hug against the tree, and they're colored the same as the bark, you know, so it's pretty hard to see them sometimes. Yeah, no luck with the owl. We did see a northern flicker cruise through the forest. I was telling Chelsea, you know, it's those males. It's like at the beginning of the season, the women are like, all right, let's go. It's gonna get cold up here, and most of the men are like, yeah, you're right. Let's pack up and get the fuck out of here. But then there's always some, probably, who knows, they've either got like a really nice area, like, you know, if you're a flicker that lives in this forest, you know, I think people have this perception that if you're just an animal, you can just go anywhere. But it's, you know, you can, but you can't. And it's like us, it's like humans. Yeah, we can just go anywhere. We better have the resources to do it with and all that stuff. And because nobody's giving up their space. And it's like that with the animal world too. It's not like I'm planning a vacation, you know, I want to go to Hawaii for the winter and I just get to go. You have to have things set up, right? And so some of the guys that have really good setups up here, they're telling their wives, hey, wait, like, do you really want to leave this? Because somebody else is going to move in. They're going to move in. They're going to take this, look at all these nice trees. You know the grubs that we get out of these trees? You know the ants around here? Like, do we want to lose that because somebody else moves in because we're off in the south to stay warm? And the women are like, well, you stay back and take care of it then. You know, you go ahead and stay back and take care. I'm off. And some of the guys are like, all right then. All right. I'm going to hang out. I'm going to hang out all winter. I'll wait for you. We'll see. You'll see. And that's what happens. It's the story of the flicker winter. So, not sure, but from what I think I can see through the binoculars and through the viewer on the telescopic video camera, I think that bird has a really badly broken wing. It's the kind of scenario where it's not going to be really able to be treated to where it's going to be releasable again. So the likelihood that anybody's going to want to treat it is far decreased. I know facilities that I can bring that bird to, but the problem is it's going to need long-term care. I've got another goose already at Henderson Lake who I'm thinking about bringing out here who's broken like that, you know? Like, what if I relocate that Henderson Lake bird out here and it's, you know, just like that? I can't feel sorry. At least it's having this is a good day to be out here for a goose. Mm-hmm. But, you know I could probably walk across that river, grab that goose up. It would be kind of a little ordeal for me, but it would, it'd be a rescue thing. But is it going to actually help the goose? Probably not. Probably not. It's going to put that goose through a whole lot of trauma and hospitalization and stuff, and might just lead to a euthanization in in an animal hospital. Whereas at least out here, it's living. It sucks that this goose is left alone over here, but the eagles, the coyotes, somebody's going to find it pretty quick. I don't know. It's a tough call, tough situation, these kind of things. But when I see a bird that's that badly injured, I don't think there's, like sometimes I come across gulls and they're, like they might have one wing completely torn off. There's places I can bring it, people that are going to dress the wounds and stuff, but where do you go from there? It's not going to fly again. Can't go back to being a gull or a goose. So what do we do for this one? I think my call is just to leave her there for the day. If I come back in a couple of days, she's still around when things are getting, well, she's still going to be around. Her wings going to be broken. She's either going to be eaten or she's going to be around. But I guess I'm basically saying, like I don't have the capacity to take care of her long term, and I don't want to put that on somebody else, and I don't want to take her into a situation where she's going to get euthanized, so I'll just leave her. In fact, I might bring a partner to her with a broken wing to join. How about that? Hey, bring the Henderson bird over here with a broken wing. The two of them can be broken together. Aww. Chelsea was asking me a little bit about these geese. Like, don't they go south? And the truth is, because we still maintain a little bit of open water in the cities, like these geese used to always go south, I believe. They'd all have to leave. But around our urban areas now in the north, we've always got warm pockets of water in our river. I don't know what that's about, but now we're taking water out. We're putting the water back in. The water we're putting in is warmer. And so we keep open water pockets in the river year round. And due to that, we get species that stick around that normally wouldn't, including these geese, including some mallards. And in Lethbridge, for at least the last decade or so, we've had this belted kingfisher. I don't know if it's the same one. Might even be a couple of different, like the male thing. Hey, it's very similar with the, from the flicker, you know? Like the kingfisher wants to keep his territory. So he sticks around, but that's a hard game to play with as a kingfisher because your diet is 100% fish. So if the water closes up, you die. Or if the water that is open doesn't have fish, you die, right? So that's a pretty hard game to play. There's only, I think, one that does that. But with the geese, thousands stick around because we have that open water. The open water is their protection for the night. As long as they have that open water for the night, they make their way up to the stubble fields during the day. In the really cold brunts, they'll just stay at their safe site at the water. Okay, when we get to minus 30, minus 40, most of their day is just spent at the water, just weathering the storm. And when it warms up a little bit, they'll go back up to the stubble fields. So the geese stick around, and I was telling Chelsea, they are actually like the bird equivalent of cows. So maybe it wasn't coincidence that the cow was over there going, oh, and then the goose was making a sound like non-goosey, like a goose cow. Oh, that poor goose is hurt. I'm making fun of her. But they are like cows. They even have the 4 sections of their stomach like cows, like deer and elk and moose. All the ungulates. Like as far in the bird world, that's what geese are. They're like the ungulates, and they're built to live on the tundra. Just short grass, and that's why they have the build that they do with the long neck, so they can look over and see what's happening around them. Anyway, we're making our way out. William, our oldest boy, has some birthday obligations to take care of this afternoon, so Supermom Chelsea's gonna go make sure that happens. Not sure what Ryan's plans are, but we got a Star Wars evening set up. Disney Plus.
Yes.
We should say something about Disney Plus.
Oh my God, it's awesome. Oh.
So, Disney Plus service came online this week.
Yeah.
The other day, and Chelsea grabbed it up for us. Grabbed us a subscription. How much is that?
I think it's like 16 a month or something.
16 a month?
Yeah, I think.
That's a little bit.
It's like a VIP thing though, so you get everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's grades. But
Oh,
we're
okay.
doing the 7-day thing right now, so.
Still a trial?
Still on trial.
Okay. But what I've seen is that every Disney movie from forever is on there. Like Old Yeller, Swiss Family Robinson, Bedknobs and Broomsticks. The old school stuff is there.
Ichabod and the Toad.
Yeah, Ichabod, the Toad, Mr. Toad. The really old stuff, like back to the 1940s.
20s even. Some.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got some old stuff on there. So, but it also goes right to current. And in fact, has that freaking Boba Fett series. The Star Wars. I'm mad at the Star Wars franchise and Disney for what they've done to it. They really messed it up. But how am I not going to watch the Boba Fett show? Gotta check it out at least. You might laugh on it, but Bill Burr's there, right? I think he's an actor in that show, so gonna have to check it out and review it. But yeah, the Disney Plus thing,
Awesome.
yeah, it's pretty cool. If you got kids, those are all the movies they want to watch.
Yeah.
If they could, you know, if they could throw Pixar on there too, be done. Oh. Yeah, now Chelsea's teaching me something. We're just going through the Disney library thing, and I'm like, you know, I'm interested in checking out some of those old, like, those movies I know we watched in the gym in the 1980s in the grade school, like Herbie movies with the car and that whatever that weird spooky mountain thing is. The magic, I don't know, I can't remember if there's a Witch Mountain, something like that. There's a mountain movie that we used to watch in grade school too. But it's like, but then if I watch those, they're probably gonna be terrible. It's probably why they haven't spanned the ages. You know, why is nobody making a remake of the Herbie movies today? And that's where I was wrong.
Yeah.
What? There was a Herbie remake.
Yeah.
It involved Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
The girl who my maternal grandmother in her dementia was pretty sure stole her raincoat. So Lindsay, that yellow raincoat you got that you were in some movie with, my grandma wanted that back, you know. She wanted it back. That wasn't nice. Yeah, I may or may not watch those Herbie movies.
Yeah.
Now that she's attached, I don't know. It's like wrecking Star Wars. Oh. Well, it's not like that at all, but not comparative at all. But anyway.